Welcome to Wargame Wednesday, Episode 6, here at That's Your Garbage with Gene Lorenzo. And this week we are playing Dust Tactics because Fantasy Flight Games is releasing sometime this week or next week Dust Warfare, the Wargame expansion to Dust Tactics that uses the same factions, fluff, and models, but adds additional models and a new faction in the Sino-Soviet, whatever they're called.
Union.
Sino-Soviet Union, which basically is like, Communist Russia and Communist Japan. China.
And Japan.
And Japan. So yeah, because we've got that game coming out very shortly, and we're going to be getting a copy of the rulebook, so that at least we can do a review for the website and some play testing. And there's actually Mike from the site might be interested in getting involved in the game as well. We decided this week, as an excellent run-up to the release of the new expansion of the rules, we would do a game of the original Dust Tactics. We are using models almost entirely from the starter set. Though I think
the command squad is really the only thing that isn't from the starter set. You're a command squad. Yeah,
okay. And so Dust Tactics is an interesting board game hybrid in that it uses models and stat cards very similar to those used by AT-43.
Though much bigger.
The cards are much bigger, yeah. But in this case, the movement and line of sight are calculated based on squares on the terrain tiles you see in front of you. So that movement range on the cards is given in a number of squares. And one interesting feature in Dust Tactics is that moving diagonally, the first diagonal square you move counts as 2 normal squares, and a second diagonal square counts as 3 normal squares. So moving diagonally is a lot more difficult than moving in a straight line. This forces you to be much more considerate of planning in advance where you want units to get to, because they have limited amounts that they can move diagonally. One of the major things that makes Dust Tactics really fun for us to play is that while setup is relatively simple and doesn't require that big a table space given the size of the board, the restrictions on movement and how far you can fire from give the game a lot of tactical depth. Combat in this game tends to be a lot of setting up ideal tactical positions for the first couple of turns, and then when the combat starts it tends to be very violent and very dramatic, go one way or the other.
You lose whole squad.
Yeah, this isn't like,
Not AT-43.
Yeah, this isn't AT-43 where when you've taken cover, you've got an automatic 3+ cover save. So in this game,
there isn't really any default hard cover.
Yeah, there isn't any hard. In this game, cover is basically broken into 2 levels: soft cover and hard cover. Soft cover, like hiding behind one of those crates, gives you a save against the wound on a 1 or a 6. Because the Dust Tactics are supposed to include these dice that are blank on 4 sides and have hit symbols on 2 sides, but those dice are so badly made and so badly cast that they basically. Yeah, they're atrocious.
But if you can tell, that's not centered.
Yeah,
and so it's also engraved, and same on this side. It's not the same.
They're terrible. So what we do instead of using those terrible dice,
complete randomness.
We use regular D6s, but just count 1 or 6 as a hit on the hit symbols, because the 1 and 6 are opposite, just like the hit symbols are.
Yeah, exactly.
So and that works much better for us.
Well, it's much more reliable.
Yeah.
I mean, you could with those dice, you could shoot with a laser grenadier squad and not do any damage.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Some of them are just meant to fall on misses all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. To give you a little look at the units here, we've got a bunch of units from the Allies over there. That's mostly American style. And you can see that given the fluff of the game, it's an alternative universe where in the middle of World War II, alien technology gets found and starts being incorporated into the different armies, so that World War II doesn't end. And so you see that
they get rid of Hitler.
Yeah, they get rid of Hitler, and so the Axis still exists, but it's not so hell-bent on
there's no Nazi
genocide. It's much more so bent on just we want territory. So you've got the World War II style troop-looking units with some advanced technology, but not much. But then you've got these hybrid. They looks like a Sherman tank, but with legs. for the Americans.
It's definitely the Allied style.
And the Axis has some really nice looking walkers. And now you can see that these are all, they're essentially, the figures come ready to paint, but not painted. We never got around to painting these figures because we're lazy bastards. But yeah, we painted one. But if we get into the Wargame expansion of this game, we will definitely do some more painting.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely.
Yeah, because I will not play the Russians, and I will paint them in 6 Border Legion colors from War Machine, because that's my favorite color scheme. And so yeah, so we've got the board set up. In this case, the terrain is dictated by the scenario. In this scenario, one side plays the attacker, the other plays the defender. In this case, I chose to play the attacker because I was the defender in our 1843 game, and we saw how well that went for G. So I chose to be the attacker, and so the attacker comes in from this board edge on their first turn, and their objective is essentially to get a unit either into that space, or this space. Now, if I manage to get a unit at any time into each of those 3 spaces, I win the game immediately. Or
all 3.
Alright, all 3.
Yeah.
Right?
You get into all 3 spaces, you win the game.
It doesn't have to be simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's just if at any point you get any unit for any period of time as the attacker into each of those 3 squares, the game immediately ends. Otherwise, the game goes 8 turns, and as long as the attacker gets a single unit at any point into one of those 3 spaces, but is not tabled before 8 turns are over, the attacker wins. The defender wins if they table the attacker, kill all their models, or if they can prevent the attacker from reaching any of the 3 objectives after 8 turns. In this case, for the defender, tabling is the more likely way to secure victory. Now, you see, we've got these squares that look like columns. Those are complete infinite height line of sight blocking terrain. These are specified by this particular scenario in the rulebook. So these provide what little line of sight blocking there is on the entire board. Other than that, you've got some crates that troops can hide behind, but don't do anything for walkers. And the defender's deployment zone is everything from the left objective down to the back side of the board and up the right side objective. So everything up to the middle of those 2 walls essentially is the defender's deployment zone, and the attacker comes in from the other edge. So we're going to get the first turn going here and get ourselves onto the board, and then we'll be back with a summary of turn 1. So here we are at the conclusion of turn 1. One clarification, we double checked, and it's the first diagonal square of movement counts as 1 square of movement, and it's every diagonal square after that counts as 2. So you can move diagonally once, but beyond that it becomes a bit of a challenge unless you have the fast special rule.
Yeah, which only really I have.
Yeah, which only really you have. So it hasn't been much action yet because the first turn everybody's going to come on from their deployment zone. So G brought on Rosie and her squad of dudes that can blow up walkers, I think. And there's the barbecue squad, which features a flamethrower and a fast. Over here, I've got my unit of laser grenadiers, I think they're called, with Sigrid, who's like ridiculously good. There, I've got a unit of guys that are good at shooting walkers, and then I've got my Luther and Ludwig, and over here I've got Command Squad, and he's got his hot dog there, and I don't know what the other one's called.
What? Pounder.
Pounder. The Pounder!
Exactly.
And here he's got a unit of whatever those dudes are.
I got a barbecue squad and I got recon guys too.
Oh, the recon guys are over there. Alright, so yeah, there we go. Not much has happened just yet, but things are sure to heat up fairly quickly in this game, I think.
This game ends in like 2 turns.
Yeah.
This game's so fast. You can play like 12 rounds of this game in like an afternoon.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Alright, we'll be back at the end of turn 2 and we'll see where we're at. So here we are at the end of turn 2. and things are getting very bloody. Not just yet, but they're about to.
Headphones everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be like the red tide. His barbecue squad barbecued most of my Panzerfaust squad, which is an anti-vehicle squad, but like I had no choice for reasons that will become apparent later. And he tried to barbecue my Luther with his hot dog.
Napalm thrower.
Yeah, with the napalm thrower. It didn't quite work. And yeah, that's about it for now. But next turn, things are going to get very gruesome very quickly. Basically, this entire game is predicated on me taking a roll of the dice and gambling on being able to pull off something egregious. That's pretty much the entirety of my game plan right here.
I go 3 weeks, can't roll to save my life. In one turn, 7 out of 10 dice hit. I don't know what that would do. Alright, let's go. What turn is this?
3.
Okay, so we're at the start of turn.
End of turn 3.
End of turn 3. You can tell that Lorenzo's really happy right now.
And merriment.
Basically, Lorenzo moved his laser grenadiers to shoot at my
Barbecue
recon squad, Rosie, and the barbecue squad. And so he did that. He had Sigrid shoot at the barbecue squad, and to her credit, she actually did kill the whole squad. And then the laser grenadiers proceeded to do nothing because they were so inspired by Sigrid's badassery, they figured she'd just kill
I just want to state for the record that the laser grenadiers are literally the best anti-infantry unit in all of Dust.
So
they get to roll an additional dice for every hit that they get, and they get to keep rolling additional hits until they stop rolling hits. I rolled one hit, and then re-rolled no hits.
Yeah,
best anti-troop squad in the game.
And then we did knife and grenade, and no one died. Like, Rosie took 1 wound, Sigrid took 1 wound. Game. So then I activated a bunch of stuff. Lorenzo did kill most of my... What the fuck are they called? The gunners. Lorenzo killed most of the gunner squad. Except for one guy who's got 4 UGLs next turn. And I shot at Lorenzo's... No, that was last turn. No, I didn't shoot anything.
No, you killed the...
I killed 2 guys, but that was...
No, but you killed the
oh yeah, I killed the
Luther.
The Luther, yeah. So Lorenzo has his Ludwig
right
back.
before the squad that would have repaired it would activate.
Yeah, I killed the Luther right before it could have got him repaired. And then, so now he's got 3 guys in his command squad left. 2 guys in his Panzer Killer squad.
Yep.
And the Ludwig. And
Yep.
I have Rosie, the Recon Grenadiers, the Hot Dog, the Pounder, and then Cheech with the UGLs.
Yeah. Basically, I am absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
Good game.
He hasn't even taken, like, wow. Wow, though. But, like, I rolled 7 hits on 10 dice, guys, with my Recon Grenadiers. We couldn't even get the knife and grenade because they were all dead.
Yeah. And because if we got the knife and grenade, I would have got the swing back.
Yeah, Sigurd would have, like, killed at least 3 guys and taken the hell with her.
Right.
Because she's crazy. But, yeah, that was just retarded.
Yeah, that was great.
So we'll come back at the end of the game. It's pretty much over.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, thanks. Seven dice, 1 hit. 1 cover save made.
Soft cover.
Soft cover. Soft cover, no less. Meanwhile, you keep rolling like 70 or 80% hits with every gun. Just, okay. Well, here we are at the conclusion of turn 4.
Oh, freak.
And I have a Ludwig left.
I killed everything else.
Yeah.
I rolled 70% hits with every gun all game.
Yeah. There's his one squad, there's his other squad, there's the one dude left in that other squad, there's all of his walkers. Yeah!
You can still win it, though. You can still win it. Unless Rosie shoots at that thing and hits, because then you're not winning anything. But yeah, good game. And Lorenzo can't wait for Dust Warfare. He's going to take an entire army of fucking laser grenadiers. Hundreds of laser grenadiers.
I'm playing the Sino-Soviet Union, bitches. We get attack helicopters.
Oh, man. This has been the most statistically not average game ever.
Yeah, it's been pretty egregious. It's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back at the end of the game for final wrap up. Yeah. Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, there's still a chance that I might start rolling average.
Yeah. I'm sure that's hypothetically possible. So we played a 5th turn and a 6th turn, and I died, and that's the game. So I hope you enjoyed us playing Dust Tactics this week for the one and only time we will ever play this game.
No, you can't be like Mike.
No, I'm not even buying the Dust Warfare book.
What?
I'm burning this. I'm actually going to throw all these models off my balcony. Followed shortly by you.
Don't friggin' take after Mike and like retire HeroScape because of one game. But I think the one thing we managed to actually illustrate here, unintentionally, is how ridiculously bloody this game can be.
Yeah, no, I mean, ultimately, realistically, I had a carefully crafted strategy.
And it was a good plan.
Yeah.
It was a good plan.
It was essentially like, if I would have rolled well with Sigrid and the Laser Grenadiers and killed Rosie's squad, as well as the barbecue squad, there was no way he was going to be able to protect all three of the objectives. And furthermore, there's no way he was going to be able to close range to enough of the objectives. So I could just take one squad and turtle once I hit one objective, and he was screwed.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like I was attempting to deliver a coup de grace. Like, if the strategy worked, it was game. But if the strategy didn't work, it was also game. And then I just, failed miserably at dice.
All the time.
Like I haven't failed since I, missed Best General at Astronomicon 2 years ago on a 1 in 35,000 sequence of events.
Tell the story.
Okay, so for those of you playing at home who are familiar with the evils of Games Workshop and have played for 40K, I was playing a 1,500 point Black Templars army. Okay, and
when they were good.
Yeah, no, when
it was 4th edition, no?
No, it was 5th edition, but it was early 5th edition. It was before like Blood Angels, Grey Knights, Space Wolves.
Yeah.
It was before. Or actually, mostly it was the Imperial Guard that ended the Black Templars as a viable army. Because you can't, assault doesn't work against that kind of MSU.
Too much pressure.
You can't assault enough shit fast enough. Anyway, point is, I was playing against a Space Wolves army. It was like a Logan army that had only minimal vehicles. First turn, first shot, this guy barely manages to get off a shot with a Typhoon missile launcher at a Rhino that has a squad of 7...
Initiates.
Yes, 7 initiates with an Emperor's Champion in it. So he rolls to hit, he hits. He rolls to pen, he pens. I roll my cover save, I fail my cover save. It explodes. 6 of the 8 guys inside take wounds, which is statistically way above average.
The Space Marines.
5 of the 8 fail their 3+ armor saves. I then fail my leadership 10 leadership roll, and the rest of the squad runs off the board. First thing that happened in the game. That was, and it cost, literally the victory points from that game cost me Best General in that tournament. Dice fail.
Nobody really feels like
it's fun.
Like Lorenzo. You
take
it to a whole other level.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've also lost a tournament game against Necrons in close combat with Black Templars. Their phase-out number of 3 10-man squads of Necron warriors were in the same piece of terrain where I could multi-charge them, and they proceeded to win combat for 4 turns. And ultimately the game. Against Black Templars. That game should have been over on turn 2. Yeah. So, oh well, dice fail is dice fail. Hey, you got crucified with the dice the last couple of weeks, so I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
This has been...
I really wish that we could have like a week where we both roll average. Just once.
Just once.
Where like we don't, like it doesn't come down to stupid dice shit.
Yeah.
We actually have an average game.
Yeah, it would be nice.
We'll keep this segment going.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the holy quest of Wargame Wednesday is for us to have a game that is not determined by retarded dice events.
Yeah,
just one.
Once that happens, we're gonna check out the website.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna go sleep with Megan Piper. It's all gonna be over.
You're gonna catch 17 serious diseases.
I'm down. Worth every single one of them. Dude, she's flexible.